Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. Welcome to a very important program. We kick off with our longtime friend, Carlos Medina, who is the president of the Statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey, and, of course, the executive producer and host of a great show on NJ PBS, and it's called Pasa NJ. Good to see you, Carlos.
Great to see you always, Steve.
You got it. Hey, listen, people don't know Pasa NJ. Let them know what it is, where to find it, and why it's great viewing.
Sure. We completed season 2 and we are looking at our contract for season 3. And, I'm a Jersey guy like you, Steve. So it's kind of Jersey through my lens. Obviously my upbringing was different. Immigrants, my dad's from Cuba, my mom's from Puerto Rico, grew up in Hudson County. So just putting a positive spotlight on Hispanic leaders and their allies in New Jersey primarily, and then some that are in the tri-state area.
Some of the guests and topics you've explored.
Obviously, diversity is top of mind, the business success, overcoming obstacles. We've had Senator Menendez on, we've had Senator Booker, we've had allies like Mayor Fulop and Luis Miranda, dad of Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's a legendary businessman in the tri-state area. So it's been fun. It's been fun to introduce our audience to different hidden gems in the area.
Carlos, talk about this, because you and I have had this conversation offline, and because we are independent producers as you are, but we're colleagues and work very closely with the public television family. I don't know if people understand this, and I won't get into the weeds on this, but at least 50 to 60% of my time, this is the fun part, and I know you feel the same way about being a host on your end. 50 to 60% of my time is spent raising money, securing money, keeping those dollars in place to keep the team going, to keep the broadcast going. Is it different for you because people are throwing money at you? Because that would be great.
No, it's complicated, Steve. And it's a labor of love. I do it through a nonprofit entity. So yeah, it's challenging raising money and even dealing with some talent and agents, and it's a lot of walking through quicksand or trying to move through quicksand to get things done. But at the end of the day, like you said, it's very rewarding to see the final product. But a lot of the work is the 90% behind the camera and behind the scenes.
Yeah, but you do know about business, and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce has been helping, supporting, being there for small businesses for so long, any kind of business. Talk about the growth in the business community, the Hispanic business community, A, and B, the impact of COVID as we get 2 years and beyond into this.
It's, the numbers, the last census shows that New Jersey's 21.6% Hispanic, and those are those that filled out. So I feel that number is even higher, but a very impressive number. And we just keep on growing. The Hispanic business population is doubling and tripling. Back in 2009, when we had our last recession, Hispanic businesses were growing while Main Street businesses were stagnant. And there's an argument to be made that Hispanic businesses drove us out of that recession. I'd make the same argument now, Steve. We're in a COVID recession. Businesses are struggling. Hispanic businesses, we just had our gala recently, and the Business of the Year has opened up multiple new restaurants in the midst of a pandemic. And that's really up and down, from mom and pop shops up to large, law firms and corporations that are Hispanic owned. They're all, really working during the pandemic to keep the economy going, keep their employees, with a steady source of income. That one restaurant would feed and send the food home to all of the families of folks that worked for him. So it's just an example of, a close-knit immigrant community, similar to the Italian immigrant community in Newark many years ago. So I think immigrant communities always share that, love of family, love of hard work. And as cycles come in and different waves of immigrants come in, sometimes we forget the trials and tribulations that those that came before us had.
Yeah, actually, we have an interview with Maria Lorino, who wrote a wonderful book about the Italian immigrant experience, which my grandfather came here in 1921. My mom and I confirmed this yesterday. In 1923, the United States largely shut down immigration from European countries, Italy being one of them. And as I read about that history of immigration policy, largely dictated to stop more Italians from coming here, it strikes me as awfully similar to what's going on right now. That being said, forget about my people. Let's talk about this. The resistance in the African American and Hispanic community. We also had you and John Harmon, who is the president of the African American Chamber, on talking about resistance in Black and brown communities. Do you sense, Carlos, that where we are at the end of 2021, this will be seen after, that the level of resistance to vaccines from COVID is less than what it was, A, and B, the impact on the economic vitality of the Hispanic community?
I think there is less resistance today from the last time that we spoke, Steve. And the impact has been, there's been a heavy impact on businesses. The EDA was another award winner at the gala, I will mention.
Economic Development Authority, Tim Sullivan and the team.
Tim Sullivan, Ty Cooper, they've been amazing partners of the chamber and helped us get a lot of the grant monies and the Small Business Administration payroll protection plan money into our members' hands by partnering with us, by trying to get things in English and in Spanish and getting them into communities that generally don't have access to these type of programs. And I think they did a fantastic job, honestly, making sure they partnered with John Harmon, with a veteran chamber, with diverse chambers, with small businesses in general, up and down Main Street.
Any big corporate support? We don't want to be plugging because we're all in the fundraising business, but any big corporate support?
Yeah, this year, Wells Fargo, PNC Bank, the banks have been heavy supporters, Horizon Blue Cross. It's been, we've had a lot of corporations realize the struggle and also realize with these numbers that the census is showing, these are potential clients, consumers, customers that corporations want to make sure they're engaged with. So it is philanthropy, but it's also good business.
It sure is. Hey, Carlos, do me a favor. NJ PBS, our terrific public broadcasting operation, Joe Lee, now the general manager, Neil Shapiro, our leader overall. Tell everyone when people can see Pasa NJ on NJ PBS.
We'll be starting up again, hopefully March of 22. And it's generally the last Saturday of the month at 9 a.m. on NJ PBS. And immediately after that, about a day after, it could be on the landing page on pbs.org, where we have all of our episodes archived.
And we'll put up your website throughout so people can find out more. Hey, Carlos, all the best to you and your family in the new year. We look forward to more conversations.
Likewise, Steve. God bless.
Same to you. We'll be right back after this.
Think Tank with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Wells Fargo, Fedway Associates, Inc., MD Advantage Insurance Company, Englewood Health, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Choose New Jersey, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, and by Johnson & Johnson. Promotional support provided by NJ.com and by Insider NJ.
It only gets better when we stand together to tough through and get by. Even though it's harder than ever, we're gonna make it. Long as we don't break it, just do right. There's no sides we must know.